This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr. Hey, LowcoSports fans, it's Monday night. Welcome to the LowcoSports Lowdown. The OGs, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr, rolling with you tonight. Got some various friends stopping by tonight to talk about a weird night for LowcoSports because everything was going just fine, and then it just started raining. Well, first lightning and then raining, and it threw everything into a tizzy. There were a bunch of games that were in progress. One of them was considered final, and that's the one that we'll lead with tonight because it was the big one, Bluffton and May River over at Landshark Park, and Miles Fry was cruising along, and it was 1-0 Bluffton in the bottom of the sixth, when the skies opened up, and they obviously, we were playing softball, and I thought we were going to get the game in, and then all of a sudden, 15 minutes in, we were not going to get it in. And it happened fast. It looked like it was just going to stay to the north of us and not really do anything. And then all of a sudden it was a monsoon. So official game, because they got through 5. So they revert to the 5th. Bluffton wins it 1-0. And our buddy Coach Mullis is here to talk about it with us. What's up, brother? I know, tough way to go, man. I mean, tough way.
Rules are rules, boys. Rules are rules.
They are, and we all know.
I was there. I was at the Shark Tank, and you kind of knew that it was about to rain at some point. You just have a feeling sometimes when it gets darker and the wind starts to blow. When you do this long enough, you kind of know when the weather's going to start to come. The game was cruising. It was cruising along. We got through 5 innings the first hour. And all of a sudden, I was thinking that it might be able to get this in before the rain started. And then all of a sudden it came in the 6th, but it was the Miles Fry show tonight. He shut May River down.
He was good.
He's in the green room. One of the most
dominant performances I have seen here.
Fresh out of the shower and in the green room.
He was good, man.
He was very good. Let's bring him in here, and we had to extend the invitation tonight because, like you said, it was the Miles Fry show tonight. Miles, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, welcome, and congratulations on earning another one. I was talking with my buddy Jason Bruni when we were coaching Waves this weekend. He works with your dad. And he said, your dad was talking. He thought he had seen you pitch for the last time in high school last week, and then lo and behold, the Bobcats go on a run, and you get one more crack at the Sharks. And just tell us about how you were able to take advantage of that opportunity tonight.
Yeah, going into it, we kind of had a good feeling of what those guys knew. I've played with a couple of them before, so they kind of knew how it worked. So we were all kind of just messing around, seeing what would work, different stuff, seeing how they would react to different pitches. So we were trying to keep them off guard a little bit. And
not only that, you had the game-winning sack fly.
That's right.
Tremendous. Yeah, doing it all for the Bobcats in this win. But just tell me what was clicking for you out there in the mound. You were dialed in control from the very first pitch, and very strange evening. It looked like you had a chance to really go all the way, and then the weather came in and they ended up calling it. But, just tell me about how you were able to really cruise through this mirror lap that you've seen before, and tell me maybe how that experience and opportunity of this moment helped you rise to another level tonight.
Yeah, we've seen that they're very aggressive, and so we were very just straight to them. We just threw a lot of strikes, got a lot of swings and misses, luckily, and just kind of flew through.
I thought the pickoff was big. I thought that pick in the first inning was huge.
Yeah, that was
a really good time to pick. I thought that was a huge play in the game.
Got a few highlights from Wes tonight. Miles, I think you were like 54 pitches through 5, right? So you really were attacking the zone.
Yes, sir.
Very efficient.
And not only that, but you racked up the Ks as well. 9 strikeouts through 5 innings. It wasn't just picking up quick outs, but you were mowing them down on 3 pitch, 4 pitch, 5 pitch at bats. So, kind of tell me about your stuff tonight and how you're able to get those out pitches to work beautifully.
Yeah. Looking at the pitches that I had, the changeup was working really nice today. So we were able to really like get them out in front a little, and then that allowed us to work curveballs and fastballs to speed them back up. So the changeup really helped out a lot. And then, just hitting spots is just key.
Yeah.
Yeah, your location was fantastic tonight. And, the thing, I watched you play for a while, and you pitch.
Yeah.
And I respect the heck out of that,
Right.
Yeah, he hadn't told you that. I don't know if you remember it or not, but I've always thought that you're a pitcher, and I've really, in, out, up, down. You had a lot of good stuff going tonight, so it was good. It was good. Happy for y'all.
Right. Thank you.
Well, now you guys get another shot at
run because you guys got in as the 16th seed, the very last at-large team in the lower state in that bracket. So how have you embraced this opportunity of newfound life after you maybe thought it was all done after the region slates? And after dropping that first one, you guys have been rolling through the elimination bracket. So, just describe how fun and exciting these last few games have been as you continue your career here at Bluffton.
Oh, yeah, it's been really great. We've really picked up the bats as a team, so that's great, and that's allowing us to really stay in the game with a lot of these good teams. And that first loss at North Myrtle was a little big, but that really put us in a good spot to keep going. We played.
Y'all were in that game.
Yep.
You were in that game.
That's the end.
And there's been so many guys that have stepped up on offense, and maybe some guys that we haven't really talked about much because they've been coming under the radar. And tonight, Arsenault's we've known about, but Bradley Robbins with that key double, Gavin Carrick also with a 2-bagger. So a bunch of dudes are raking at the right time for this team. Just talk about how proud you are of some of these younger guys stepping up to this opportunity.
Yeah, we do have a large senior class, but it's really a lot of those younger guys that are making a lot of stuff happen. Like Gavin, great catcher behind the plate, and he's got a big bat this year with 2 bombs on the season. Yeah. Bradley Robbins, just a good overall kid. We got a lot of guys coming up that can really do a good job out there.
How many seniors do y'all have?
I think on record we got like 7 or 8.
Yeah, you got a bunch. But, man, some of the young guys like Dawson coming up and swinging a really good bat for you. And it's been good to see. But I think that 7 or 8 seniors is a big part of this run, too, because I think, there's just a little extra hunger there when like this is your last game. And when there's that many of you, I think that's where you find that little extra gear to score 5 in the 7th and stay alive, or to make some plays that maybe you wouldn't otherwise make. But just talk a little bit about that, just what it's been like for several games now, knowing it could be your last with your boys, and the feeling of earning another one has to be just phenomenal.
Yeah, being a senior is definitely a little stressful when you know that it could be your last, but it really does help you push through and like really try to grind your way out of a hole if you're in one, or really push yourself to do more and get farther ahead. And so, we've just been in those spots, and we've felt the hunger, and we've pushed through them.
Yeah. What do your prospects look like at the next level? Have you committed somewhere?
I've not yet, actually.
Okay, so still on the market. You've been boosting the resume lately. Anybody been ringing your phone?
Not that I know of.
All right.
Where are you thinking about going to school?
I've been accepted to Georgia Southern for college. Yes.
Okay. Anywhere else?
No, I'm just gonna go there. It's got what I want. It's a nice spot for me.
Well, I don't think I'd give up on it.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't either.
What are you looking to study at college?
I'm looking into civil engineering.
Yeah.
We were talking about you tonight. You look like a guy that, to me, you could develop into a pitcher. You just, you're about 40 pounds away from being a division, I don't know about a Division I pitcher, but you could pitch in college. There's no doubt in my mind.
No question.
But, it's just one of those things of, you're going to put on weight a little later, and reminds me a lot of oh gosh. We had a kid a couple years ago. I can't think of his name right now, but he went up and pitched for Carolina's club team and said it was just the most fun he ever had. And God, he came back home and was just devastating. I was
Murdoch.
like, yeah, it's that Murdoch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Murdoch went from 83, 84 to 88, 89, and I'm like, damn. Why ain't you just walking out there and pitching for the Gamecocks, not the Gamecocks club team? But I could see that same progression in you when you get to, you get some pounds on you, you go throw hard. And but I wouldn't give up on it. I'd dang sure I'd make them say no. I can tell you that.
If you end up just going to Georgia Southern, you come play men's league for me if I can get back out there next year. I'm the player coach. But no, man, is that something that's still, if somebody called, would you still be open to it?
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely still on my mind, still out there. I'm definitely looking. So,
and hey, man, I'd walk over there to the baseball office at Georgia Southern too if that
you're doing right.
And
I'd make them say no.
I'm here. Want me to throw a bullpen?
Yeah.
Well, your high school career is not over yet, so you've earned another opportunity, another game, and it'll be on the road again. Once again, it will be versus a very familiar opponent.
Yes.
Up against Lucy Beckham on the road, coming up on Wednesday. A couple of tough losses against them this season, but it's a clean slate. Hard to be a team 3 times in a row. So how are you going to embrace the opportunity heading back up to Lucy Beckham, looking for another win to keep it going?
Sorry, I missed that part.
Just broke
I was just asking about your upcoming game, embracing the opportunity that you have against Lucy Beckham, a familiar team in your region, and a chance to knock them off.
Oh yeah, it's going to be definitely a big game. It's nice to see them back again. So I think that now that we've seen them in our region and that they are in our region, it allows us to really understand how they play. And I think we're going to have a much better shot as we're going to be able to judge them, know how they play. We can react a little bit differently to their play style.
Well, they're very improved.
Yes.
I mean, that is a significantly better lineup than they've had in the past. So, if y'all sneak through, you'll be good for Friday, right?
I think so. Yes, sir.
I thought you two
giving some love.
That rain helped y'all in more ways than one tonight.
Right, because you only need 3 days, right?
Yeah.
So Tooch gets it on Wednesday, and then back to Miles on Friday.
Can Tooch go Wednesday?
Should be able to. He pitched on Friday, right? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
So he should be good to go.
He's good to go. So rolling back, and hey, man, Wolfie's been really good too.
Yes,
really good.
It goes back to the young guys. I mean, we just got a lot of good guys coming up in a lot of different positions.
Miles was so good tonight. It overshort. Hey, Hargis was good tonight too.
That's what I was just about to say. Let's not sell Hargis short because that dude only gave up a sack fly.
Yeah, I mean he was pretty good tonight too.
Lights out. Great pitchers.
With some love.
You guys were in the zone. That was fun to watch. You two compete. Just talk about your respect you have for your opponent in May River and what Hargis did and what this team has done and how cool this rivalry has been to be a part of.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every time we play him, it's always a close game, big game. And on the mound, he was doing great. I mean, an outing like that is just what you want every time. And it's what your team wants from you. So I think he did amazing. He did the best he could do. And it was just a little unlucky today, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you guys.
Great crowd as well. Terrific show out at the park tonight. Excellent crowd tonight. It was packed. It was packed to the tank. Really
I
cool.
was getting texts from people saying, "Are you at this baseball game?" Because there would have been no way to know because apparently it was just a sea of people. But I was coaching softball. But yeah, you sent me that video, Wes, of the crowd, and I'm sure that it was several deep along the fences on the sides with the Pacers, the nervous dads and and nervous moms. But yeah, man, Miles, terrific work again tonight, and looking ahead to Lucy Beckham. You guys got a good thing going. You got to feel pretty good about the momentum you got going, right?
Yep, we're feeling great. We're just gonna keep it rolling. Cats are alive.
Cats are alive, baby.
Try to get it to Myrtle Beach and see what happens.
That's right. Never can tell. But well, hey, thanks, man. We appreciate you hopping on. I know you're probably exhausted, but congratulations on tonight as well as a great season, and we'll talk to you real soon.
All right, thank you. I'll see y'all.
All right, take care, man. Miles Fry. Mullis, you want to stick around a minute?
Yeah, I'll stick around.
Baseball?
Glad to see his ahead and go. Get him graduated. Get him out of
right. Get him down the road somewhere else.
Man, I tell you, he's improved too, guys. I've watched that guy for a while. He was good tonight. It was different.
But obviously, we have to lament the end of the road for May River on top of this. And
hey, we had a good year. Those guys had a good year. I mean,
I was going to say.
Hey,
I mean,
terrific season if you did.
And they went down with a fight.
I'd like to see them compete a little bit more at the plate tonight. 9 strikeouts in 5 innings.
And it's unfortunate when you have more outs to play with. You have the 6th and the 7th, and then it gets like, how do you know? I mean, you kind of have a sense where you never know how long you'll play when it's.
Well, I wasn't really sure. I'll be honest with y'all. I wasn't sure of the rule. I mean, I thought we'd come back and finished it
right.
I know we've done it before, but I mean, I can't remember if we were winning or losing or whatever it was. I remember Dylan stayed one night and played the next day, but I thought we were winning that game.
Give the short turnaround because
I know at one time it was if you had a day, you finished it. But now when we talked to, Al was able to get in touch with Charlie tonight, and this rule had gone to executive committee, and it was voted down because of travel issues. And it's been my experience that you can still make those decisions. I have no problem with South Carolina High School League. It's just the only problem that I have with them is they never seem to err toward the kids. Yeah. They always err toward, what's the easiest way to do this? Well, that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Nobody asks the kids, there should be some sort of radius or whatever. Right. And,
if it's a 10-minute drive, travel issues doesn't really cut mustard.
Seriously, that's you ought to be able to both teams agree or something like that. But, I don't think you were going to get Kitty to agree to it tonight. The other thing was
well, apparently, speaking of that, in Texas, in the playoffs, they play a 3-game series. But if both teams agree, they can just play 1 game.
Yeah, and here's the other thing.
How many times you think that happens? If one guy says, let's play this one, you're like, I
had one of James Island's coaches call me on the way home tonight, or when I got home. I drove the Jeep, which was a questionable decision.
Yeah, mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made tonight. Hey, man, we were like 3 in a row when I drove the Jeep. It wasn't no way I wasn't driving that thing tonight. And, but evidently Buford is in the same thing. Gilbert was coming back tomorrow to finish.
Correct.
That game's over now.
No, they got to come back tomorrow.
No, not the way it was explained to me tonight, unless somebody explained it to me wrong.
I think it's explained to you wrong.
5-3.
Bottom of the 5th, though. They didn't get through 5.
Right.
So,
but
I think the way the rule reads is that Gilbert has had their 5 at bats.
Oh, well, their AD said, yeah, you're right. But their AD said they were resuming that game at 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Well, that's before they got the ruling of our game tonight.
So, okay. I mean, it's technically an official game because we're in the 5th and the home team's batting their ahead. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That should be an official game.
And like I said, I don't think we were the only ones that didn't understand this new rule. And I'm not saying it's new. I mean, I'm telling you, I've seen it called differently in the past.
So we'll try to get to the bottom of that because I reached out to check on that.
Would be the
resuming at 5 p.m. But yeah, I think that you're right. I think they're on.
I think that game's complete after
Cincinnati.
5.5, or
On to Cincinnati.
whatever.
Beyond the lower state tournament.
Yeah, man.
And they'll have. I don't know who they play next.
One of the other district champs. So
I believe
I've actually got the
Waccamaw district. Yeah, Waccamaw or either them or Marlboro.
5. So yeah, either Waccamaw
or
Marlboro,
Marlboro County.
Now, did Christian get their game in?
No, they are tied at 2.
So that game has to continue. Yeah.
So they're tied with Lawrence Christian?
Yes. They were down 2-0 in the first, and they came back and tied it. So that one is suspended. Also, Dorchester was up 1-0 on Colleton, top of the 4th, suspended. They just PPD'd it at the farm tomorrow night at 6:30, and that's all the baseball, which is about all we got left. We got some other stuff to talk about later, a little soccer and some golf qualifiers. And actually, we're going to circle back around and talk about track and field over the weekend as well. But
we would have been lucky if we got, it was probably 50-50 on that field tomorrow.
Right.
It rained. It was Old Testament. It was.
Yeah, I stood in the garage and just watched it for a minute. Man, I love to just stand in the garage and watch.
You know what was fun tonight? I went down to the building because I kind of saw it coming, and I was trying to kind of get some stuff ready in case we did have to get back quick. And Josh Patterson was hung out, and we got it kind of sucked, but it was kind of good to catch up with Josh. And and it's fun when you're watching these guys grow up, but he was I'm not sure we were going to get a lot of field help from him tonight, but
he just walked across the stage at USCB.
I was proud of him. Told him that.
I had a great year.
I get to go do that. Get to watch Wilson do that Wednesday.
Huge late in the year for
already.
Wilson graduates Wednesday.
Jeez, time's flying, man.
Yeah,
that's crazy. All right. Well,
guys.
So that's about it, Bubba.
That's about it. That's
man.
Yeah. Hey, May River softball too. They're still alive.
Yeah, that's true. Sharks are still going, and they got Lucy Beckham at home tomorrow night. And Beckham's trying to get them riled up too. I saw a social media graphic with a Bengal eating a shark, and
okay.
I don't think the Sharks took too kindly to that since they outscored them 19-2 or whatever in the regular season.
They're gonna have to. There'll be some time spent getting that field ready tomorrow. I can promise you.
Right.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
So, all right, guys. Thank y'all.
All right, Bubba. Be good. That's Ned Mullis.
The grounds crew's going to have to work double overtime to get ready for that.
That's right. Mullis will probably get pulled into the fray for that. But, hey, our MVP sponsors keep us going every night, and it starts with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports. She gives us the go-ahead to do this every night in my home, and she can also help you find a home in the Lowco or upgrade to a bigger, better home in the Lowco. If you want to get into the real estate market, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports, would love to help. And Homegrown Home Inspections is the official home inspector of Lowco Sports. When you find that home, they'll check it out, make sure it is good to go, and if you're building a new home, you got to have the phased inspection from Homegrown Home Inspection. Jan Lucas and his team are the best in the biz. Call on them. They're our official home inspectors. And Mickelson Law Firm, our official real estate closing attorney, our original sponsor, and the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. They've been supporting us since 2017. We appreciate it, and we hope you'll support them when you have legal needs. And Hospice Care of the Low Country, official hospice provider of Lowco Sports, and the only not-for-profit hospice in Southern Beaufort County. A great place providing all kinds of services at the end of life, because at Hospice Care, it is not about dying, it's about living. Those are our MVP sponsors. You mentioned softball, May River Sharks advancing, Colleton County also advancing with a big win on Saturday. So both of them stay alive for tomorrow. Sharks will be at home against Lucy Beckham. Cougars go on the road to South Florence. I actually have a couple of videos I'll pull up here momentarily. Home runs by Bailey Cox and Zaria Oxner. So we'll check those out. But tonight on the softball diamond, it was not good for the Lowco. Camden bounced Battery Creek 6-2. Really good showing in the postseason by the Dolphins. They made a good run and were really competitive in this game too. And Bridges Prep out 11-1 against Low Country Leadership. So that's some softball. Let's see here. I do have a Bailey Cox home run for you.
Yeah, so Carleton County and May River are in the separate pods of the lower state playoff bracket.
And they both still have work to do.
Yeah, for sure. They gotta win a couple more.
Yeah, they got to win this one and then one more and then beat somebody twice, I think. So it's still a long road to get through. But that would get you.
May River, they still have to beat Lucy Beckham. Then they have to play Ludolph Elgin and then West Florence.
Right.
So they got a lot of work to do, as you said, to get back in this thing. But good to see them continue to fight and scrap out some wins. Carleton County still has to go through James Island and Hartsville. So good luck. It's a lot of. It's still an uphill climb, but like we talked about with Miles, for a lot of these kids, they're just fighting for one more game. Yep. I mean, that's really all you're trying to do is get to play one more, and if you can just do that enough times, everyone is precious. I mean, just getting to play one more means a lot, and honestly, it helps your program down the road too. Yeah. Every game you get to play, especially for the younger kids. That postseason experience is huge.
Oh, man, it's massive.
Yep.
That gets us up to speed on softball. Girls.
And by the way, shout out Anna Carabello. Tremendous performance. She was dominant.
Oh, actually, we have post game from her, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
If I can find it. I got so much stuff in this folder. But I do have it here somewhere. I'll find it. But on a terrific game again on Saturday. Go ahead and talk about that performance.
Yeah, dominant from the start, and it just looks so calm out there, and she just loves being out there and competing. And that's what I really appreciate about watching her play. She just has that joy and passion and has that confidence about herself when she's pitching, and it just knows how to pick up big outs. And she did that, especially those first few innings. Got in some trouble there in the 7th when it was a 3-1 game and 2 base runners, but was able to get herself out of it. In the end, she's also been talented at the plate this year and came up absolutely huge in a couple of spots where, she no-hit Irmo through the first 5 innings of that game. Nice. Got a lot of help from her defense. Didn't pick up as many Ks. She picked up a few, but, pitching to contact and getting some important outs and letting the defense.
That's kind of her game, though. She's not a big strikeout pitcher. She's more of a soft contact and let your defense play. Which suits them because they go get it on defense. They're pretty solid. But you did catch up with her post game, so let's hear from Anna.
Oh, your Sharks are still alive. Another tremendous performance by you. Describe how you guys battled out there and got the win here this afternoon.
I think we just battled through every inning, just tried to get hits when it was like the 5th inning when we had 0. So we were just trying to get through every at-bat, try to get on base however we can.
Tight game. It was tied until that 5th inning. Allie coming through. How proud are you of your teammates getting some clutch hits to get you guys the lead?
So proud. Her hit was so good, and it was an in-the-park home run. It ended up being, so they did really good today.
How about that defense behind you, making all kinds of plays to help preserve that lead?
Yeah, I rely on them because my pitching style, I get a lot of ground balls and stuff, so they just really help me out in the games.
They made it interesting, a couple base runners in that 7th inning. How did you dig deep to finish the job there and get that last out?
I was just trying to throw a lot of pitches to get ground balls so my infield could make a lot of plays.
how fun has this ride been? Keeping it going, your senior year. How amazing has this journey been, especially these last few games in the playoffs?
It's been really good. I think that we've done good this season, and we're continuing to do good, so we just got to keep it up.
Another home game coming up on Tuesday. Either North Myrtle Beach, you could see him again, or Lucy Beckham. That game's still in progress, but how excited are you for another opportunity, potentially against the Chiefs or facing a Lucy Beckham team that you guys have played well against this year?
I'm excited because I think that they're both good teams and we can do well against them.
All right. Congratulations. Excellent performance. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Thank you.
By the way, when I was filming that interview, it was looking like North Myrtle Beach was going to be that opponent. They're up 3 runs, and then Lucy Beckham out of nowhere scored 4 in the 7th to walk them off.
Yeah.
Crazy finish over there at Beckham.
I know the Sharks were happy about that. I mean, the way that they've played against Beckham this year, they have to really like that. But I think, was that the – no, that wasn't it. I was trying to find the inside the park home run that was scored on Game Changer as a single, I think.
And I agreed with that.
You agreed with single? I couldn't really tell the video. But because we had one the other night that was scored single in an error, but I thought it was an inside the park home run. So, those things can go either way.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Little League home run.
Why? I mean, look,
Little League home run.
Yeah, Little League home run. I mean, there were a couple. They're kind of like 2 errors in the same play because there was an overthrow at third, and then they tried to throw home to the catcher, and that was wide. And so it's a combination of those 2 mistakes that ended up resulting in the inside the park home run, if you will.
Sometimes I call it a Benny Hill music home run.
But 2 runs came on across, and they were able to tack on one more, which ended up being important to grab that 2-run lead back because Irmo did respond and get one. But Carabella was a difference maker. And as you mentioned, I mean, just pitching to contact, getting efficient outs, and just working really well consistently. And she was on top of her game. I expect they go back to her on Tuesday up against Beckham. And, this is a team that, as I said in the post game, I thought has played really well against Beckham, although the Bengals are a solid team. And you know what they say about it's hard to be a team, right after you beat in the regular season. Playoffs are different. We've seen that across any different sports. But they won 10-2, and they won 9-0. Obviously, it's a clean slate. You don't know. But just by indication of what you've seen, it's been a good matchup for May River. But at the same time, we've seen examples where you beat someone handily in the regular season, and it doesn't matter in the playoffs.
Exactly right. And I mean, and I think in softball too, just having seen pitchers multiple times makes a huge difference. I mean, in baseball too, but I think even more so in softball. I think it's amplified a little bit. And so, I think Anna pitched both those games against Beckham. I'm not positive.
I know she threw the last one. It was senior night.
Yeah, so I wonder if they don't maybe start Olivia Nagel and see how it goes. Knowing you got Anna, just a little change of pace, something a little different. They started Olivia in some of those region games. I wonder if it was.
It's a perplexing thought for me because it makes sense that you're holding some cards in your vest and you go with the player they haven't seen,
right? And
Olivia, but I mean, do you stick with the player that's brought you here?
Right?
You can go either.
You can overthink it for sure.
Yeah.
I just I wondered. I tried to check and see if my Game Changer's gone wonky. I can't see what I'm supposed to be able to see, but I think Anna pitched both those games, so I just wonder if they would show him a different look to start the game. But never know. We'll see. We'll find out soon enough. As long as the grounds crew gets their job done tomorrow. But hey, let's talk a little bit about the soccer playoffs. Giza, all of our soccer teams are gone. By the way, May River girls lost 4-0 James Island on Saturday, so all the high school league teams are gone. But Giza playoffs started tonight. Hilton Head Prep rolled 10-0 over Northside Christian. Ashley Brothers had a hat trick and then got moved back to defense. Calentado had 4 goals and an assist. Alexa Palazzo had 2 goals. Layla Esquivel had a goal and 4 assists. Courtney Campbell had 2 assists. Sophia Schliemann, Zoe Hayes, and Sammy Reeling each had an assist, and Brooke Hines had the shutout and goal. They will play Thursday rather than Wednesday because of the baseball game.
Right. I was gonna ask you about that because I know baseball's home in the lower bracket, whatever bracket they're in.
Larissa McMillan was all over it. She included it in the recap.
Well done. Yeah.
Indeed.
I knew that would be a conflict because I was expecting like they would play like at the Hilton Head deal or something.
Right. Christian Academy of Myrtle Beach bounced Hilton Head Christian girls 3-0. And how about this? JP2 beat Spartanburg Christian 3-0. They only played 17 minutes. Brady Mahoney scored 2 goals and Ayla Reynolds scored 1. Ayla and Hollis Melnick each had an assist, and then there was a lightning delay 17 minutes in, and Spartanburg Day, I guess, just said,
they waved the white flag, basically.
Yeah, they were like, we're good. I think it was Spartanburg Christian, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
I have it as Spartanburg Christian, but the email I received says Day. I'm not sure which is correct. Yep. I don't have the bracket handy. But
yeah, that's a possibility for a all-Lowco championship game if both JP2, although they have a tough one at Myrtle Beach Christian. That's not an easy one for 1 seed. But we've seen this JP2 had Trinity Grace Maxwell as a star in goal. She could be the difference maker.
It was Spartanburg Day.
Okay, Spartanburg Day. All right. So I guess JP2 will still have their game on Wednesday, and Prep will play on Thursday, which will be
presumably
late afternoon game.
Nice.
That works out well. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's great for us. Great for our purposes, playing them on different days. So that and then Patrick Henry girls lost 4-1 at Charleston Collegiate, so they're out. And BA and Holy Trinity play their semifinal games on Wednesday, I believe, in that bracket. So that's the soccer. Let's shout out some more sponsors, and then we'll talk some golf and track. Varsity sponsors of LowcoSports: DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they've jumped on board to help us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Reverence Wrestling Club is our official wrestling sponsor and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. If you want to take your skills on the mat to the next level, get over to Reverence Wrestling Club, doing great things over there. And Dr. Ambrose Cole, the official chiropractor of LowcoSports, he's at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Those are our varsity sponsors. As promised, let's talk about some golf. Class 4A lower state qualifier today. May River finished second with the 294, although AC Flora with the 271 blew it out. And Bluffton slid in with the 8th spot with the 319, 2 shots ahead of Hilton Head. So Hilton Head does not make the cut for the state championships, but Santino Bambeck did make it as an individual with a 73. So you got the Sharks and the Bobcats and Santino Bambeck going on to the state finals, which I believe are at Rose Hill. For 4A.
Yeah, right? I believe you're right. Right there in Bluffton. So home field advantage in a sense for Bluffton or May River, which is just cool. Tough to see for Hilton Head, but nice to have an individual represent the Seahawks and qualify. So congratulations to Santino Bambeck, but really nice showing from the Sharks, finishing second just behind AC Flora, which has been a powerhouse for a while. But you like the chances of May River coming up in the state tournament, and great to have it right here in the Lowco. That's always fun. And Bluffton able to sneak in as well. So Brady Sacha and the company get
to
play.
And Dango Golf. Dango Golf and Brady Sacha. Lots of friends of the program on the Bobcat golf team. So appreciate that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is at Rose Hill both days, 8 a.m. tee times per Ron Grant's email. Monday and Tuesday. So That'll be good. I believe Carlo is planning to get out and cover that a little.
Wish I could make it, but
you're working. You're a working man. But I think Carlo's going to get out there and check out the golf for us and bring us some highlights. I'm no good at shooting golf highlights, but Carlo is, so we'll send him out there. And then the 3A lower state qualifier, Buford got through. They placed 5th with the 319. Philip Simmons was the top team with the 302. And Battery Creek's Chase Genberg qualified as an individual with an 81. I don't remember a lot of times Battery Creek sent a golfer to state, so that's awesome to see. Yeah, good stuff. Happy to see that. So
really tight between these top few teams. Philip Simmons 302, and you look at that's four player scores, so closer than you think between some of these squads. Philip Simmons and then Gilbert right behind, 7 strokes back of the Iron Horses, and then Waccamaw, Hanahan, Buford separated by just 5 shots. Waccamaw from Buford, 3rd from 5th. So
yeah,
good showing from the Eagles. They're right there at the top couple of lower state, and you never know if a couple shots go the other way. Maybe the chance.
And I expect Simon McAllister will probably be right in there, all-state type guy in contention for an individual title even. He's really, really good. They aren't quite as deep as they have been as far as the team goes, but like a couple years ago, they were pretty deep and they made a run at the state title. But individually, he's got a shot. And I think maybe James Denton as well. Anybody can play really well for 2 days, but those guys have been pretty consistent for them. But track and field, big weekend for track and field, and we don't do that nearly enough justice on here. Friday night, actually, I didn't even realize it was going down Friday, but Skiza did their track and field, and track is growing pretty exponentially in Skiza right now. They now have done 2 divisions for their state championship, Division 1, Division 2, and it appears to more or less be Division 1 is like 4A and everybody else is Division 2, more or less. But D2, JP2 had a really good year, and Shane Milligan, the football coach, came in, took over football, took over track and field, and man, he's done a heck of a job with this track program this year. The boys finished 2nd, just 4 points behind the champs from Orangeburg Prep, and the girls finished 4th. Zach Henderson won gold in the 800 on the boys' side. On the girls' side, JP2 won both the 4x4 and the 4x8, and Heritage Academy's Allie Salem won the girls' 400. So several champs, bunch of other, strong individual performances, including Sebastian Frickel with 2nd in the 16 and 3rd in the 8, and Brady Mahoney with the 2nd place in the 400, a 3rd in the triple. And then from Hilton Head Christian, Morgan Scott, 2nd in the shot, 3rd in the discus. And from Hilton Head Prep, which I believe was their first year fielding a track and field team, Ashley Brothers, who you may have just heard her name earlier for soccer, 5th in the 400, 6th in the 200. So lots of solid showings in there from local kids. For
really cool, and a lot of those we know are familiar from other sports or cross country, and it's great to see Skiza add more opportunities for track athletes because cross country has been big for a number of years. And now you're seeing some of these multi-sport stars get to take to the track and compete in these, state meets. And how about that performance from JP2? Shane Milligan, tough year football-wise. They had some talent on that team. Of course, Christian Tilton injury kind of plagued them a bit, but they have some outstanding, talented athletes in that school. And we saw a couple of them perform out there. Including CT1, CT4, it's basketball or football. With
2nd in the long jump.
Yeah, tremendous performance from him. Zach Henderson taking the championship in the 800. Great to see him take gold there. Sebastian Frickel, Dante. A bunch of podium finishes for the Golden Warriors. And, the girls getting it done as well. Brady Mahoney, we've talked about her shining on the courts. And Morgan Scott as well, a couple of basketball players, showing out on the track. Great to see that. And Hilton Head Christian Academy in 12th, Heritage Academy with Allie Salem Really cool. That's awesome to see that team grab.
Heritage just had a good spring. They won state titles in tennis and golf, and got an individual champ, also individual champ in golf with Michael Gavin. So they've had a really good spring.
Yeah, they have some tremendous Olympic teams, Olympic sports.
Yeah,
and it's great to see that continuing to thrive over there for those boys and girls, and awesome for all these SCISA athletes for their opportunity to shine out here on the track, because it's been fun to watch them grow as athletes and as people, and it's fun to see them recognized and get these chances to take home some more hardware. So congrats to all of them. And then over the weekend,
had some region meets over the weekend. 7-4A meet at James Island. I think the top 4 qualify for lower state in each event, but I'm not 100% certain on that. Because at one time I thought there were like qualifying marks, but maybe that's for SCISA. I'm not really sure. But a bunch of champs though. For Hilton Head, Zach Sellers won the 200 and the 400. Jackson Wright the 800 and the 1600. Colleton County's Jaquez Haynes took the 100. Noah Wasserman from May River won the 3200. Lucky Johnson from Hilton Head had a heck of a meet. Won the high jump, second in the long, second in the triple. Asa Haskins won the triple from May River. Erlon had 3 second place finishes, 800, 1600, 3200. Erlon Baker from Bluffton. And then some champs on the girls side. Well, Hilton Head won the 4x4 and 4x8 on the boys side as well. On the girls side, Hilton Head's Shanice Ramson won the 100 and the 200, which is fast. Madison Washington, Maddie, is back in business. She won the discus and the shot put. Janelle Stevens from Hilton Head took the high jump, and Lillian Bigger from Hilton Head took the javelin. So there's some champs.
With star from basketball season, Jelena Mosley, 3rd place in the shot puts, and then some Colleton County standouts, Zeronia Hudson in 2nd high, and then Akila Daniels 2nd in the long jump. It's good to see the Cougars getting it done. Olivia Capers 3rd as well in the long jump. So wanted to shout them out. Good to see those Seahawks. Man, Shanice Ramson sweeping both of the sprint events. That's not easy.
Blazing. Speaking of that, actually they didn't sweep it, but Region 8 3A meet, Beaufort had a solid showing. Eric Smart on the boys side winning the 110 hurdles and the pole vault, 2nd in the 400 hurdles. Adrian Lamb, big fellow football player, won the shot put, 2nd in the discus. On the girls side, Anaya Housel had a great meet. Won the 100 hurdles, won the high jump, 4th in the long jump. Audrey Jefferson from Battery Creek won the discus, 2nd in the shot. Isel Tantillo won the 800, 4th in the 16. Amir Harrison won the jav from Beaufort. Kamora Lee Milton from Beaufort won the shot. So Beaufort won a bunch of them. Creek had some kids get through too, but not as many. And then the Region 7 1A qualifier.
Oh, those Warriors.
Whale Branch done cleaned up. Jonathan Kelly, the Jet, he won the 200 and the 110 hurdles, was 2nd in the long. Jesse Richardson won both the distance events, 16 and 32. LaRon Wright won the long jump, 2nd in the triple, 3rd in the high. Gregory Gilbert won the high. Jaden Young won the pole vault. Bradford Thompson won the discus and the shot. So a bunch of dudes. Keith Chisholm had a couple seconds and a 4th. Oh, Richardson
relays
2nd and 8.
Or at least the relays took 4x4.
Yeah, they cleaned up in the relays. And then the real star of the meet for Whale Branch, Larmore Pryor, took the 100, the 200, and the long jump. Talaja Bartley won the 400 and the 100 hurdles. Grace Bing won the high jump, was 2nd in the 100 hurdles, 3rd in the 400 hurdles. I mean, they're just stacked again, absolutely stacked, and going to be and they also swept the relays, by the way, the girls. I think they may hang another banner around the track Whale Branch, maybe 2 even. And then next year they'll go to 2A, and it'll be interesting to see what that looks like. Them and Hampton could be going toe-to-toe on the track. That could be fun. But yeah, we've now started to narrow it down. I have updated for the most part, I think, our Lowco track and field performance list for this season. I'm not 100% sure it's 100% updated, but it's pretty close. And you can see actually the fastest 100 time for the girls, Shakayla Fennell from Ridgeland Hardyville. She edged Ramson just barely this weekend. Destiny Pryor had a faster time than Larmore earlier this season, but this is a pretty cool resource that I want to be able to publish. Larmore Pryor with the fastest 200 time, barely ahead of Ramson, and actually decently ahead of Ramson, and then Fennell third. But this is kind of a fun.
Right.
It was a fun exercise.
Best performances of the year.
Yeah, it was a fun exercise. It's hard to keep up with. Amari Patterson is the fastest man in Buford here in the Lowco. He's got both the 100 and the 200 fastest times this year, but barely.
Yeah.
Zach Sellers is right on him. Samaj Hicks is right on him in the 100. So it's kind of cool. Kind of cool to play with that. We'll see if we can do more with that as we go into the lower state and state meets. But let's shout out the Lowco Booster Club, Court Lifestyle Pros. Daniel and Debbie Court are Lowco natives who want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. They're with Charter One Realty, the Court Lifestyle Pros. Dr. Allie and Dr. Jenna are at Revive Rehab, Women's Health, and Pelvic Floor Physical Therapy. Great spot for you new moms if you want to get feeling right. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel and all kinds of other good stuff over at their showroom on Argent Boulevard. Go see what they can do for you at Eagle Creations. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. You can get a great style or just some great conversation in downtown Ridgeland at Jay's Barbershop. And Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country will get your floors so clean, your feet will thank you, and you'll make a new friend in Chris Odom. Good dude. But that's about it for tonight, buddy. So let's do our shout outs. Who you want to shout out tonight?
I'll have to choose from, but I think there's still an easy choice, and that is Miles Fry, because it was his night to lead Bluffton to that rain. The rain. Crazy rain game. But I'm trying to find the right word. The rain interrupted game, I guess you would say. 1-0 over the Sharks in an absolute stellar performance. 5 innings, 9 strikeouts, no earned runs, didn't walk anybody. And then not only that, but he delivered the difference at the plate with the game-winning sacrifice fly. So doing it all for the Bobcats in a winner go-home game. And just tremendous work. And great to hear from that young man afterwards, and just to battle, and because you never know when it could be your last game, and rise to the occasion in a rivalry like that. Really cool to see for Fry, someone who has had a terrific year but has turned up his game to a whole nother level tonight. And now we'll see if his teammates can help give him another opportunity to start on Friday. If they can get it done at Lucy Beckham, but just a sensational showing from Fry. One of the most dominant performances I've seen, especially in a big game like that. But just impeccable control all night through, and was picking up K's left and right, and just fooling those Minerva batters. There's some quality Shark bats on that team, but Fry was in control throughout. And
good game plan.
Fun to watch a guy dominate like that in the playoffs, because you just don't see it very often.
No, you don't. But you've seen it every time he's pitched in these playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, we've said it all year. When he's on the mound, you got a shot, and that's the reality. He might shut him out every time, and there's not a lot of guys you can say that about. But he's certainly one that the consistency is remarkable. I mean, he's just so good every time. And like Mullis said, he pitches. He's not just throwing it and letting it run. He's pitching to spots, and he's thinking his way through it. And he wrapped his head around how to attack this lineup tonight. I mean, he knew those kids. He knew that they're aggressive. And also, he's got that devastating breaker, so you don't want to get behind in the count. So you're going to be aggressive against him. You're going to chase fastballs early. You're hunting fastballs early. And so, if he could put those in the right spots and get them to take strike one, get ahead, then he's and that changeup's working, he's pretty devastating. So I hope that they can get by Wednesday and get him back on the mound on Friday, because man, all bets are off if that happens. But
especially against the team that they almost beat that first time, you'd love to see them give themselves the opportunity to go up against them again. Yeah. Because you can put pressure on that team quickly. I mean, we saw what happened in the first game of these playoffs for Bluffton. They hung right with them, and if Fry can be that extra factor, that great equalizer, if you will, to potentially limit what those Chief bats can do, it gives you a real chance. And this offense is really starting to feel confident. They're swinging the bat well, even though they only put up one run. They did enough, and found ways to. Yeah, I mean, it was a slow start, but they got a couple of guys they can turn to, and these young guys, who are really seizing the opportunity, can make a difference in a game like that, because you kind of have nothing to lose at this point. You're just finding your way up there and going against some quality teams, but just there are kids like that who sees an opportunity like what we're seeing with Bluffton, and they're certainly doing it. It's fun to watch, especially a team that we didn't know if they would get in. They had to get in via the at-large, the 16th seed, and now the last team in our region still playing, or in our Lowco teams in the region still playing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Been a good run. I will formalize my shout out for Larmore Pryor. I did just shout her out when we were talking track and field, but I'll formalize it and contextualize it a little bit, because you could say, oh yeah, well, she won 3 events, but it was 1A. Well, she won those 3 events with the best marks in the area all season in 2 of them. So to put it in perspective, she's not just putting up good numbers for 1A. Her time in the 100 was the 5th best this season, but only 13/100ths of a second off the best. Her time in the 200 was the fastest in the Lowco this season, and her long jump mark is the best in the Lowco this season. So big time performance from Larmore Pryor, and she's one of like 3 Pryors on that, 3 sisters on that Whale Branch girls team. So I think they're going to do some damage. I think there's a brother as well. So pretty impressive family. We had Larmore and Destiny on here one time a while back, and they're impressive duo.
Yeah, no doubt. Great to see all these track athletes shining. They've got a ton of deep talent throughout these squads. And you mentioned a couple of them right there. And then again, when we were talking about all these champions and individual winners and fun, and they deserve a lot more love, because we overlook a couple of these guys, and some we don't show enough love to. So I appreciate us diving deeper into some of these athletes, and hopefully we can bring on some of them to just talk with them and recap their seasons, because they work as hard as anyone. I was a cross country runner. I didn't do much track, but cross country, I mean, it's tireless work out there. And the same is, especially when it gets warm on the track, and you just have to grind. And not only that, but you're competing in multiple events in one day, and you got to keep yourself ready and that right mentality. That's hard to do. So
keep your body right. I mean, that's
hard. I mean, you have to maintain like your diet, like what do you eat, what do you drink in between. There's just a lot to consider, and obviously the coaches do a lot of that help for those kids, but you gotta have the right attitude and mindset.
Choose discipline.
Yeah.
As our friend Jack Ussery would say, choose discipline.
But
where are you headed tomorrow, buddy?
Going back to Tank, River softball.
Yeah, there you go. I'll be my game with
before call this a night. I'm checking Beaufort Twitter. Last thing I see is game called bottom of the 5th. Beaufort leads 5-3. Game will resume at 5. So I'm
right. That's the update I was given as well. But I think Moss is saying that the word had not yet spread that no, they're calling official games, folks. So I think the call at May River sort of was a precedent, sort of, where it was like, oh, hey, this rule changed, and now word's getting out. So I don't think they're going to resume that game when it's all said and done. I think it's over, but we'll see. We'll see. The Eagles hope it's over because, man, it would be rough if they had to start it back up and then they lost it and had to run it back.
Another one, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a tough way to go. That'd be even tougher than the way May River went, maybe. But yeah, so we should have an interesting slate tomorrow, assuming the ground is dry enough to play.
Because Hilton Christian has to finish their game.
Yeah, Hilton Christian's got to finish theirs against Florence Christian. I don't know when that's resuming yet. Calhoun and Patrick Henry, game 1 got bumped to tomorrow, and then I assume game 2 will be Wednesday. Dorchester and Colleton have to finish there in the 4th. So then we got softball, Lucy Beckham at May River, Colleton at South Florence. We got a girls soccer game. Wait, was that? Maybe that was no, I think it was a boys soccer game, not a girls soccer game.
I think Tuesday. I think tomorrow's a boys.
Dylan Christian, Dylan Christian and Patrick Henry, as well as
Hilton Christian Academy.
Yeah, Hilton.
That's a good one too. Northwood Academy, Hilton Christian.
Northwood Hilton Christian.
That's also an interesting one.
Yeah, it is.
That's yeah. We wish we still had our friend Connor Worrell. I know the semester is over, so I'm not sure. If
we'll check in on him and see if he wants to get out to that one tomorrow.
That would be a great game for him to go to.
Sure would. Yeah. Sure would. So yeah, Farm's a good place to be tomorrow too. You got boys soccer. I think that's their first ever home game for boys soccer, and you got baseball. So Lester's barbecue in between. It's good. It's a good day. If I didn't have other obligations, I might make it.
It's a long drive for me too. It's a long I'd love to get there more often. Patrick Henry, we'll see. Hopefully, they don't have to play game 3 this time, but they'll definitely have a home game. And if they go to the finals, they will have a home game there. So, we'll try to pick it out.
Man. Well, great show tonight. Thanks so much to Miles Fry for coming on and chatting with his outstanding performance tonight for the Bluffton Bobcats, knocking off May River. Thanks to Coach Mullis for jumping on to talk about it as well. Win or lose, he's always here for the conversation. I appreciate that. Thanks to all of our sponsors who make it all possible, and thanks to you for showing up to listen or watch. We'll be back again tomorrow night, 10 p.m. for the LowcoSports Lowdown. For Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Lowco.
The LowcoSports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.